What's up, squad? Oh shoot! Let's see who y'all was in here early. Oh my goodness! See, Patterson like that broccoli must be something serious. Already. Hey. Okay, I see y'all strolling in. Strolling in. You had broccoli. I had Brussels sprouts. You had broccoli, Kendra. It is too much going on these streets, on these Atlanta streets, y'all. Chrissy in the 30s, Kendra, Kayla, absolutely amazing. Congratulations on your first video. Congratulations. I can't wait to see it. Yes, Kendra, you caught me. We'll get into it, Chrissy. We'll get into it. I don't know. We will get into it. Let's see. Give everybody a little bit of time to get in here. Let me see if did I share this on the Twitter? You know, it take me a minute. What's up, Dina? Royalty. Let me share this on social media real quick. Twitter. Noir, JB, Amy, I see y'all. Hold on. There's the sound. Okay, y'all. We can go ahead and get started since my boss Zills has came in the room. We can get started. What is up, Miss Jackson? Hey, girl. Okay, the squad is in the house. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like all that jazz. Click the bell to be notified for the next live. All that jazz. See Nightbody's on her job. Lisa, Anita, Kendra, Cartier. Yes, just me. I am my sister's mirror. Yes, hashtag Sylvia. Okay. First. Ooh, I'm looking kind of. I'm looking a little bit green in front of the green screen. Let me change this drop really quick. Hold on, let me do this. This might be cuter. Okay. First, I'm gonna give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my fellow blog goddess, Sandra Rose. She was the first. She actually told me, she had heard a little birdie had told her that something had happened in the comedy club last night. And I'm like, what? And so, of course, Sandra, quick on the draw when it comes to the blog. And so if you want to read it in its entirety, it's over on Sandra Rose. But last night, I'm just going to, we can just dive in. But last night, if you haven't watched the interview between Wanda Smith on the Frank and Wanda Morning Show and Katt Williams, comedian Katt Williams, they were there on Friday. We've been talking about it all weekend long about how I personally felt the interview was cringeworthy. I didn't like the stereotypical tropes that Katt Williams was using against Wanda Smith. And I know y'all got me together and said, well, Wanda was poking the bear. She just wasn't prepared. So, anyway, after all of that went down on Friday morning, they were all at the club on Saturday for the, Red, comedian Red was there. He was performing at the comedy club, Comedy Corner, and they were there. And apparently Wanda's husband, Wanda's kids, her sons, were there to confront Katt Williams about disrespecting Wanda on air the way they did. Now, we all saw it. You know, some people can say it was all jokes. Some people can say, you know, it was disrespectful to women. So, you know, we can say a whole lot of things, but apparently Wanda's husband approached Katt, introduced himself, and brandished the gun. Now, fortunately, there weren't any shots fired that I've heard, but Katt ended up leaving quickly. And this is like the word on the street. Katt ended up leaving quickly, you know, dodging cars and everything to get to his car and leave. So let me see what Sandra had on her site. Sandra said that the internet was abuzz on Friday, that we just said. Lamorris reportedly pulled the gun out on Williams and threatened him at the Atlanta Comedy Club in Norcross. He introduced himself to, you know, according to witnesses, and he brandished the gun, and you know, police were called because, you know, it was in the club. It was a crowded club, and apparently by the time police got there to take a statement, Lamorris and Katt were both gone. So I heard the news after, you know, everybody was calling, everybody talking about it. I heard the news online. People were tagging me when another comedian who was there happened to go live, Corey Zuman Miller. And he was basically spilling all the tea, talking about Katt and everything. And I wanted to play, I actually got a little bit of that. And I wanted to play it, and we can discuss everything after I play this. Hold on a second. Let me get this together. I'm going to disappear. And we're going to do it this way. Yup. We're going to do it this way. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say for a little bit. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I want y'all to hear it.
What up, what up? All right, so I'm trying to sort this Wanda and Katt thing out. I need some help. I need some help trying to sort this out.
I'm going to play this, and I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say.
Everybody see the video? Everybody see that
What
video?
up? Alright, so
I just watched it again before I do the commentary. Because last night at the show, Wanda's husband was there, her sons were there, and her husband pulls a gun out on Katt. We was cracking jokes. I just watched the video again. She laughed and was smiling all the way through. I need to know when he pulled the gun out. What was he about to do with a gun? All the staff and the comics that were there, they looking at this joint like, that's where we at, yo. Dudes is pulling out guns. I don't understand. I just watched the joint again. And if you on radio, man, and you interviewing somebody and it gets to roasting, a roasting session, you either got some guns to do roasting or you don't. If you don't, you just bow out, let them get their shots. But she kept going in. And I'm trying to figure out what was said in the video. I don't see nothing in the video to make you say, I'm coming with my sons and my husband on Saturday, and he got a gun on him. And he gonna pull that thing out. What's up, D? He gonna pull the thing out. I'm looking at how do you do that, because what happens next? That's all I gotta think about. When you pull that out, what happens next? Do you have full control over what happens next when you do that? If it became somebody back and forth going, what's next? That's what I'm stuck on. Because all I remember was on Friday, there was a roasting session. The roasting session didn't go good on one end. Saturday, Katt shows up to support his friend, Red Grant. in a way that he always does as far as supporting us. I've seen Katt come out to Joe's bar on Gresham Road because I said, I'm going to work out. Bam, he pulls up, comes in, buys drinks for people, show the whole room love. And it's just, he don't come to a place like this with the idea of non-love. Shit, had he made it into the building, the whole building might have got shots because it happened Friday night. Friday night he came in there, brought shots for everybody. That's when Wanda ain't in the building. Right? What's up, mama? And this is on Friday after it done happened. Now Wanda's night is on Saturday. Katt has already said he gonna be through there. Red gonna be there. Wanda gonna be there. To me, that's selling tickets. You selling tickets. If it was some personal, just I'm trying to shit on you attack, you ain't mentioning the club and where they gonna be at. It was, to me, a good interview. Comedy, comedy went down, and that's where it should have stayed. But now your husband up here feeling some type of way immediately. And I need to know what Katt said that warranted you. What did he say on the air or at the club? What happened at the club that made you pull out a gun? Did you feel your life or your family's life was in jeopardy and you had to pull a gun out to protect them? What the fuck? I'm really blown out by that. Because even though I don't go up there a lot, shit, I just worked there the end of July, and it's the only club for the past couple years that I work every year in Atlanta. So what if some shit pops off and you get the shooting in the parking lot? Because, again, yes, he did, on Katt. So I'm trying to figure out what makes you so angry that guns is what your answer is going to be. I'm just bothered by the club, because you know what happens in Atlanta when motherfucking bangs and shit start happening. They end up closing the club type of shit, man. They end up closing the club. So you might have caused, with something you couldn't control when the gun comes out, the people who are working there, the staff, the other people booked to come and work there in the weeks to come. Because what happens if the club got to close because of that shit? It's crazy, man. Like that whole fucking thing, yo. And I'm riding on Katt for the purpose. I've been watching this brother. Y'all know, news had his name in it every other day, a couple years back. And the brother done shifted, and pushed things in a place where the end result is an Emmy. The end result is a special on Netflix. It's a gang of shit like that, that's positive. And he's on that, but he just won an Emmy. How y'all had a whole interview and didn't mention that shit? You could have pivoted to that at any moment. If you wanted it to be over, what could have happened was either Frank or Wanda could have said, well, you know what? It got hot up in here. We're going to bow out, let the Emmy winner get on with the rest of the day, or, whatever. And I'm blowed by that, yo. I'm blowed by that. The brother sings R&B. I ain't never known that was in there, in him. I know Lamoris. I done seen him sing. Peaceful fucking guy, it appears to be. But like, we saying that you can't hold it in if your wife gets talked about by comics. Now, not for nothing, Wanda ain't always been easy on comics or guests. She got her times where she'll lay it on a motherfucker, right? So you would think maybe it's just like, I had a faster gun today. He got me. And it'll stop there. But what the fuck? With the pulling the gun out? Man. Did somebody pull a gun out on you? And Katt is bigger than Lamorris. I mean, Lamorris is bigger than Katt, size-wise. So, I'm blowed by the whole shit. I'm blowed, yo. Because, man, come on. I've been on the road and seen way more shit where people do try the brother.
Okay, you guys, that was Corey Zuban Miller. Where am I? Am I on the line? Hold on, here I am. So yeah, it went down at the club. Wanda's husband was there defending her honor. He pulled a gun out, and everybody is just in awe. Like, what, what, what? Why would he do that? I mean, granted, after the interview went viral, the interview has almost 2 million views, if not, because I know the last time I looked, it had like 1.4 million views yesterday. Um, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's dragged. Not only did Katt drag Wanda, now everybody's dragging Wanda. Okay, she's probably in her feelings. Her family's in their feelings. They're on her social media pages talking shit. When something goes viral, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. As soon as somebody see it the first time, it's like the first time they ever seen it. It doesn't go away. Everybody always say there's a 3-day window of something, but some people ain't seen it yet. Some people just now seeing it today, and it's gonna start the whole process all over again. So here we are. We got to go through this all weekend. Her husband is feeling it. He's probably getting beat up on his social media. Words hurt sometimes. So we always say, you can't tell somebody how to get upset. I don't condone guns, but I'm all about Black power and Black womanhood. I told you I felt the interview was cringeworthy. I told you I felt that a lot of things that Katt said was mean spirited. It wasn't in my opinion, the spirit of comedy. Some things he could have just walked away from or just left it at that. Wanda is not innocent in the situation by questioning his manhood and talking about his hair. It was cringeworthy. But at the same time, there were 3 men there and 1 woman. 3 men there and 1 woman. I felt like personally that Frank Ski should have stopped the whole thing. And something should have been done. Somebody could have cut the mic. Somebody should have interjected. Somebody should have went ahead and clipped to commercial. Or maybe not. Or maybe they wanted it to go viral. Maybe they knew there was some smoke between the two of them and they wanted this to happen. Being that, it went down and Red was sitting there and Frank was sitting there giggling and nobody did a thing. I don't know. And I just feel like y'all are in y'all feelings like, we don't like Wanda anyway. Wanda's an asshole anyway. Wanda did this anyway. And me personally, again, this is my platform, my opinion. I feel like it's bigger than Wanda. It was a situation where he was using all these stereotypes going in on Wanda on this public platform. Now that has gone viral and people are in their feelings. People are in their feelings. Now what? Now the husband had pulled a gun. The son's threatening to kick Katt ass on sight. Where does it go from here? What do we do? Like, how do you handle it? Monday morning, what Wanda gonna say at on the station? They beefing up security. Who they beefing up security for? They beefing up security for Wanda. Will Katt retaliate against Wanda instead of retaliating against her husband and send somebody up to the radio station to see Wanda? What's gonna happen next? Don't make excuses for Wanda. There are no excuses for anybody. I'm just telling you what I saw. I felt it was cringeworthy. That's just my personal opinion. We've been talking about this thing for 2 days now, So you said you like broccoli and cheese. Oh my God. Hello to the new subscribers. Okay, we got some new subscribers in the house. Shout out to the newbies in the building. Shout out to the new squad members. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear what y'all, want to say about this. Like, was it necessary to pull a gun on this man for joking, for jonesing on your wife, or joning on your wife, for playing the dozens on your wife, pretty much, for talking about Wanda's jewelry, for pretty much calling her a fat, angry Black woman? That's what I heard. Was it warranted? Was Wanda warranted for saying that Katt's perm? Katt needed a perm. He needed his hair fixed. He just got out of jail, calling him sis, calling him little mama. Was that warranted? Was her clapbacks warranted? Wanda, where are we in this situation? Where are we? We want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Zills, what you think? What you think, Zills? He said, give Katt some more material. The phone number to call in. I want to hear what y'all got to say. 646-224-5980. The PIN number is 840-3583. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Let me call in. Said Wanda was wrong. She kept going.
Please enter your PIN number.
Wanda was at work. What other option did she have but to keep going?
Thank you. Joining the conference now. You are currently the only person in this conference.
Hold on just a second, caller. Y'all quick with it. Caller 8359, you on the line?
Man, now you know the man about to yeah. We calling in today. I ain't playing on this. But look, Michelle, you can't do that, Michelle.
What can I do? What can I? I can't pull the black woman card.
Hold on. You sure can't. No, ma'am, you can't. Let me tell you why you can't do that. In the age to where we're talking about equality for women and men, right? You can't mix and cherry pick on what's appropriate and what's not. If you want to be respected on the same level in the profession that you are in, then it's all shots. Ain't no rules when you at war like that, especially in comedy.
But wait. But shouldn't there be a line drawn because they were at the radio station? She wasn't at the comedy club. This was like an interview.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
If you pulling shots, and you call yourself a comedian, you trying to go toe to toe with one of the baddest men in comedy, then let's go. But you can't. But then as soon as you start losing the battle, you can't back up and be like, you cool? You all right? You can't do all that. No, because you started with me. Now I'm going to finish you. You started, you finish it. And then as far as the men in the background laughing, they didn't have nothing to do with that. She shouldn't have opened up her mouth. If you don't want to start this, and if you don't want me to finish it, then don't start it up.
So what do you feel about, what do you feel like the husband coming to finish it then?
Now that to me, a gun is never a way to resolve anything. That to me, if you gonna pull a gun on me, you better use it. Because I'm going to put some people in your life. I don't play with my life when it comes to guns, violence, or none of that. Now, if he wanted to step to him and talk to him, cool. You do that. That's what men do. You talk. You don't have to resort to throwing hands and
some
pulling
men
out
don't know.
guns.
Some men don't know how to talk. Some men they.
Oh,
you know,
well,
they
you need to man up. As we say, man up and start to learn, articulate your words and use your words. If you are still in 2018, your first move is to always be fighting and throwing hands and pulling out guns, then you need to reevaluate what you is as a man. Because I was taught when I was growing up that there's situations where you have to talk it out, and there's also situations where you have to duke it out. This ain't a duke it out type of situation. Open up your damn mouth and just say, hey, you took it a little bit too far with my wife. Can you back it off? Okay, I respect that. But if you're coming at me pulling out a gun, ain't no words, player. Them police coming to your house by the end of the day. I ain't playing with you. You better shoot my ass because I ain't the one for that.
Yeah. I agree. But, again.
All right, I'm going to let you go.
Okay, well, let me take another call because, I get to debating. So I appreciate your help. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michelle.
All right, bye-bye. Caller 7512, you're on the line.
Hey, Michelle, this is Kia. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, Kia.
Listen, Wanda said that her boys like their broccoli, so that's what they showed up for, right?
They weren't playing about their mama broccoli. Mama broccoli.
Look, y'all. She told Katt that her boys like the broccoli, so you see how they showed up. They showed up in solidarity. You ain't gonna be playing about my mama and her water and her broccoli. I gotta go.
See, you so wrong. Y'all so wrong. Uh-oh. Anonymous. Y'all know I'm scared of Anonymous after last night. Hello.
Greetings, Michelle.
Greetings. Who am I speaking with?
This is an Anonymous from yesterday or last night, right?
This is or this is not? No, this is not.
It is. I am the lady who phoned you last night, and I said she was out of line. She challenged his manhood when she called him sister. Remember me?
Oh, okay. You were that Anonymous. There were 3 Anonymous. The one Anonymous, the last Anonymous was the one off the chain. You are not her, but okay.
Okay. I got a quick comment. Now, I'm listening to this show intently. Now, here's what I think we're dealing with: emotionalism. Because I am so sick and tired of us Black folks not knowing how to choose our battle, right? Knowing is half the battle. If you know you can't handle roast and gag, right, then stay out of the arena.
But she wasn't in
this
the
woman's
arena.
job.
She was at work. She wasn't in the roast and gag arena per se.
But she does roast interviewees. She does.
Okay.
She constantly. Are you in agreement with me on that?
Well,
does
I don't listen to religiously, but I can agree with some of the interviews that I've heard. She has roasted.
Okay, well, let me say this. She does roast the guest. She does that. Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay, so if she is considering herself to be a comedian, okay, let's put that to the side. Put a sticky note on that. But then she's a radio host, right? Mm-hmm. And she's supposed to be unbiased. Whatever her opinion is, it is what it is. You have to respect how she feels about things. But when she gets in her feelings and causes the men in her life to get in their feelings, you see what I'm saying? That's dangerous. Now, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this. I feel like her man is expendable. Ooh. Because no woman in her right mind is going to allow her husband to get that emotional to pull a gun on a internationally recognized comedian because of what he said about her. Right. Now, let's walk down. Let's walk this thing here now. You said that he gave so many stereotypes about her. Now, I believe in being real. Mm-hmm. I live in a realm of reality. He said that she wore a wig. Does she not wear a wig? Yes, she does. He said that her lip gloss was very glowy. Was it not? Yes, it was. He also said that if you can't get your weight down or you can't get your high blood pressure down, then you're not going to be able to calm me down. Now, let's unpack that. Is she overweight? Yes, she is. Right?
Yes.
That's not fat shaming. Is she overweight? Yes, she is. Do overweight people have a proclivity to have hypertension or high blood pressure? Yes, they do. Right? Now, given the environment that she is in, mm-hmm. This man came in here. Again, he's an internationally known comic or comedian, right? And she's supposed to be one as well. How are you going to get emotional about a roast? So much so that your husband pulls a gun on the man. That's what I call emotionalism. They're all in their feelings. So as long as Wanda is winning in the roast battle, as long as she's winning, the men in her family are okay with that. Okay? But when somebody gets the best of her, then they got a problem, right? And they trying to act like they are in the Wild Wild West. I'm going to tell you something. This is nothing but more material for Katt Williams, and he is going to drag them for filth.
It's more material
in his stand-up.
But it was a lot of problematic things said. It was a lot of misogynistic things said. And it was a lot of misandry. Like, we could go back and forth about who was right, who was wrong. The interview was cringeworthy. It wasn't coming from a funny, comical place. Like, when you watch it, you could feel the tension. And so that is why it went viral, because everybody saw how heated they both were, even though they kind of kept it under wraps. Wanda was laughing through her pain. Katt was, serious. It was an interesting interview. Like, you could sit and watch it and dissect it, and we could, it was interesting. People say,
okay, from your perspective, they both were wrong. Am I understanding
definitely.
you? They both took shots.
They both were wrong.
Okay, so then
I don't think it warranted man coming to pull out a gun. I do not. I was being flippant when I'm saying this, but I appreciate the fact that black man went to protect his black woman. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. But I'm not saying pull out your gun, bang bang, on any of that. Yeah. Maybe if he felt like it warranted a conversation after, her being embarrassed and possibly bullied or whatever the case may be online, that's one thing. But no, I don't condone the whole pulling out a gun situation.
So then it was fair. They were going back with one another, right?
Yes.
Their exchange is no robbery.
So is it Wanda's fault that her husband overreacted? Like, should she be fired from her job because of something her husband did?
Yes, because if other comedians come in there and she gets out of line like she did, they are going to roast her ass summarily. And if her husband, the expendable one, is going to be pulling guns on people because they get her in the roasting game, he's going to be in jail or dead. Okay, and those kids going to be missing a dad. Wow. And she's going to be without a man, right? So I think it looks bad for Wanda. I know it looks bad for her. And
it does. I agree with that.
Here would be my advice to Wanda. If you can't stand this roasting gag game, then stay out of it. That's all she has to do. Stay out of it. If you're too emotional. I can't handle roasting gags, so guess what? I don't do it.
Okay.
Everybody in my family knows that. They don't play roasting gag with me because I can't handle it. I get mad. I know my boundaries. Wanda needs to know hers, and her husband needs to know his place.
Black women he'll be just as the least respected species on the planet. Everything Katt said had nothing to do with Wanda to me, and everything to do with how he felt about black women. Using the angry black woman card, pulling that out, to me, that's how I felt when I watched it. But that's just me.
He didn't say angry black woman, though. He said strong black woman. First of all,
but he said it in jest. He was being very sarcastic when he said that. He wasn't using it in a positive way.
But Michelle, now we've got to stop wearing our feelings on our shoulder, on our sleeve.
We need to start defending ourselves when we see, problematic things happen. It's one or the other. We can't.
I don't feel like that was where the black woman is being disrespectful. I was being disrespected. There are many other things in this culture that I see that I know the black woman's being disrespected. Aretha Franklin's funeral, that was disrespect of a major black woman, the Queen of Soul. That was disrespectful. Okay, the preacher getting up on a soapbox, filling up on Ariana Grande, she in there with a dress that looked like panties. Okay, so all that preaching. Wait a minute, and Michelle, he was preaching. Did the preacher talk about single moms and how they need to stop having all these kids when he is preaching the funeral of a woman who raised 4 black men by herself? That's disrespectful. Not this Wanda situation. Wanda was emotional. Her husband is even more emotional than her. And she's going to get them in a world of trouble by wearing her feelings on her sleeve. Bottom line, if you can't take the roasting gag, stop acting like you can. Know your place, know to call on your life, and fall back when you know that's not your thing. So I'm going to go and hang up and let you take some more callers. But I want you to know I still appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And I'm still going to watch you.
Thank you. And thank you for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Mm-hmm. Caller 6044, you are on the line.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hey, this is Tammy. How are you?
Hey. Did you say Tammy or Candy?
Tammy.
I can't hear. I swear I can't.
Listen, I just wanted to say I agree with you.
Okay.
I know, first of all, Katt started gearing up for her once she mentioned Tiffany Haddish. Mm-hmm. He was already gearing up.
So one black woman defending another black woman is problematic already to Katt.
That's right. So he started gearing up for her as soon as she said Tiffany Haddish and Netflix. Mm-hmm. His whole thing just changed. And then she started to take up, he was talking about, she never went on a tour, blah, blah, blah. And
she slept with white men, and her husband was white. He mentioned her husband was white, and then somebody in a previous video that I did mentioned that her husband wasn't white. So we were like, well, Katt speaks with conviction, like he's spitting facts, but really they're not.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is he just didn't like Tiffany Haddish, and he really didn't like the fact that she was taking up for her. And then Wanda tried to change the subject. That's why she was like, well, what do you cook for your children, blah, blah, blah. And then he started to roast her on that. Oh, you cooking broccoli? Oh, yeah, cans of corn, da-da-da-da-da. He was out of line. And just because her family went up there and approached him doesn't mean that she told them to.
Right.
They all went up They all went out, and her husband, her children, her family decided that they was going to take up for her, for mom and for his wife.
Right.
That doesn't mean that woman. Some men just ain't out here playing. You're not going to sit up here and disrespect somebody's wife and not suffer repercussions.
Right. No, I'm.
And so nobody knows if he actually pulled the gun out or he showed his gun or he just seen the gun on him. I mean, we really don't know the whole story, but some men ain't playing that.
Yeah.
Some men just ain't playing that.
And again,
you disrespected that woman,
I applaud this black man for defending his woman's honor, because it's rare that we hear.
That's right.
It's very rare that
That's
we hear.
right. I'm not mad at him. I mean, he could have. I wouldn't want my husband showing or pulling out no gun, but if they want to take it to the streets and have a fight one-on-one, baby, do what you got to do. He disrespected me. Do what you got to do. Right. But some men ain't out here playing. They're not out here playing. She tried to change the subject because she seen it, and he just wouldn't let it go. To me, he's just a crackhead, another crackhead with a bunch of money. That's all. They know how to tell a few jokes. They know how to actually maintain his lifestyle. That's what he is. And that's all. That's the only thing I got to say. Right. But I agree with you. It wasn't called for. It was very nasty, and people are blaming her because he didn't like the fact that she brought up Tiffany Haddish, and he's gonna talk about he got 9 inches of hair. Baby, you got 9 inches of hair with no hairline. Get out of here. I'd rather wear a wig. Put a wig on me any day, and I'm not going to have a long, luxurious George Jefferson. And I'm a millionaire.
So how are you?
Get out of here.
So how are you feeling about the gun situation? Do you feel like Wanda should face some repercussions from her employer because of this when it didn't happen at work?
So. I don't think so, because family members get passionate. Like I said, some men ain't out here playing them games. Some people are just passionate. She may have not known about the plan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She was just going out with her family. You never know how it went down. I don't think any woman on this planet will tell their husband, yeah, go show him something. Yeah, pull that out, because he think I'm over here PUSSY. You know what I'm saying? I don't think any woman would do that. And if you are a woman that you trash. Right. I don't feel like she did it. I don't think she should suffer any. And he should have got the backlash. So what is this? Is this bash black women month? Like, what's up? Nikki taking the hit for something this project chick did, and nobody's everybody is blaming a woman. Like, get out of here. No, I'm with you. You're a crackhead, rich crackhead. Bye, boy. Bye.
Well, thank you so much for calling. Where are you calling from again?
I'm calling from New York.
Okay, New York. And your name was Tammy. Tammy or Candy?
Yeah, Tammy.
Okay.
Tammy, Tammy, like Tammy Roman.
Oh, well, thank you for calling, Tammy. I appreciate you.
Thank you for listening and opening the lines and hearing from us. And, you keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Caller 5676. You're on the line.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Is this Cobb County or Norcross?
No, this is Memphis, Tennessee. This is fantastic from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, you sounded like Norcross. I try to remember at least the cities. Memphis, Tennessee. Hey.
Well, hey, how are you?
Good. So what do you think about this situation, this crazy situation?
I honestly have to agree. First of all, I'm going to say that Wanda's husband is whack for doing that. He is a simp, and he's probably a mangina. No one goes that far. I'm sorry. He took it too far.
I agree.
I agree with Katt, and I agree that they were both stereotypical, but I'm going to say that Wanda trumped him with the felony and the jail joke, because we know how many black men are incarcerated, and we know that most are incarcerated unjustly. So I feel like she took it too far. The wig joke, haha. The cooking joke, haha. She could have easily gotten over that. I don't really feel like anything was misogynistic about that.
The wig joke, the cooking joke, the fat jokes, the Lane Bryant jokes, the wig attacks the angry black woman or strong black woman, or whatever he said joke.
And I think the strong black woman. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I think the strong black woman statement was sarcasm, and I think it was justified sarcasm because she was over talking him, and he was right. She is a horrible interviewer. She's horrible.
But he was over talking her in the beginning of the segment.
He was. And you know what? I honestly feel like maybe there's an underlying issue. Maybe she said something about him in the past third, and he just came there already feeling some type of way. Mm-hmm. And maybe he was just looking for the chance to get back at her in a subtle way, but it kind of got the way that it did. But I honestly don't appreciate the whole penitentiary joke or whatever she said to him. That was horrible.
Yeah, they both were wrong.
That was horrible.
Wrong. And I don't think it warranted the level of enthusiasm that it got, but it did. So I'm sorry, as far as the what?
I mean, as far as her husband, behaving the way he did because of that situation, I don't know if she told him something. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But most men need to be careful about what battle they fight for their women, especially when their women are in a business where there are other men. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in jail or hell. You know what I'm saying? You really have to pick your battles when you're dealing with that. And she knows what arena she's in. She knows that radio arena is mostly men, masculine energy. So she should know how to carry herself in that arena. That was a little bit too much. I really liked the caller before the last caller. I agree with her. And I don't know, I'm going to take Katt's side on this. They can call him a crackhead. They can say whatever they want to say about him, but I agree with him.
Okay.
Honestly do. And I think she took it too far with the felony and the penitentiary jokes. He's never been convicted, and he explained to her why he felt the way that he felt about Tiffany Haddish. It isn't anything personal. It's just the work that's been put in by who I think he named Lunel, Miss Laura, Michelle Camacho. They've put in work. They write their own jokes, and God has placed Tiffany in whatever position she's in, and we can't do anything about it, but we do also have to, name those ones who have worked hard and have been, who's been overlooked and they've done way more work, and they put in way more time and energy, and she's kind of placed there. And as far as Tiffany, I don't really care for her. I don't care for her comedy, not her, because I don't know her personally, but her comedy is pretty ratchet. It's like the typical caricature of what they think black women are in the hood, and we're all not that way. And most of the time, that CIT is not funny to me. I'm sorry, it isn't.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your input.
No problem. Have a good night, Michelle. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Woo! Y'all is on it tonight. Caller 0679.
Hello?
Hello, it's you.
Hello, I'm on?
Yes, you're on.
Oh, Michelle, when I saw the interview, I gigged, I laughed. Some people's in their feelings, but at the end of the day, I just feel like they both was trying to get at each other. It's just that one was stronger with the joke. I felt like her being a black female entertainment, she should have just came harder. I felt like they both were throwing at each other, and she didn't want to go hard as what he was doing.
Because of where they were and because of the situation, I feel like
I did.
Katt went a little bit too hard.
I get that her joke, and I get that his joke, but at the end of the day, come on now. As a comedian, you can't give leeway to another comedian to come at you and say something. You just gotta come hard with the punchlines. Not that she wanted to go in.
No, she was totally unmatched. She was totally unmatched in the situation.
That's what I'm saying. And like you said, it was one female to 3 other, male comedians. Her co-host didn't say nothing. He tried to talk about something else, but Katt was just like, no, we're going to stay on this topic. I'm going to finish roasting her. They did go to commercial, and
And when they came back from the commercial, he went harder.
Somebody that was filming, they still was rolling that footage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it is what it is. It's unfortunate that it went as far as it did, but now that it has gone as far as it has, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen now? Now, will her husband face charges? Will she, face some repercussions with her job? Will Katt try to retaliate? Like, what's gonna happen now? Because, social media makes things a lot bigger than they are. So I feel like once that situation went viral, that's when it started becoming an issue with her family, her husband, her sons. People start feeling some kind of way.
Right.
Now we got to see him.
Because they got views now. They had views before, but now they got views thanks to Katt and Wanda.
Right. But and then him calling her jewelry cheap. She had on her wedding band. So now you basically just said this man's this wedding ring that this man put on this woman's finger is cheap, and he bought it from a store. And it's all gags. We get it.
She said his suit was cheap, and then when he opened it up, with the light skinned comedian read something, he was like, "Oh, I think it's Versace." He was like, "Oh, it costs more than your whole costume, jewelry, your outfit on, and all that." Like,
well, we can say it's all jokes, but clearly a lot of people don't think it was all jokes. Y'all laughing. A lot of people don't like being laughed at. So, I don't know what's next. What's next?
But ain't she a comedian?
She was a radio host that day. I don't know. She's supposed to be, but she was a radio host. They were on the radio.
But she got 2 jobs as being a radio host and a comedian.
But they weren't at the comedy club. They was at the radio. They were doing an interview with Red. Katt just happened to be there, from what I understood. It wasn't even supposed to be his interview.
But who's different from any other comedian coming down here telling their jokes and they going back and forth?
Look, I didn't say either one was right. I'm just saying the interview was cringeworthy. I didn't like it. I didn't like his jokes. And as a black woman, I took offense. Can I take offense? Do I have to pick and choose? I'm a black woman. I like that joke. I'm a black woman. I don't like that joke. When he called her all those stereotypes, I felt some kind of way.
I was like, ooh. Oh, wow.
And you felt it. You felt it. And I don't want to change nobody's mind. I don't. Y'all feel one way, I feel another. But I just saw it. I just didn't like it. I just didn't feel like it was right. But anyway, thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And we can agree to disagree. All right. Bye-bye. Caller 8084, you're on the line. Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
This is MBA underscore 2016.
Yes.
I agree with you. They both were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really painful to watch. It really was.
It was very
I
painful.
was cringing the whole time I was watching it. Katt was disrespectful, especially when he started fat-shaming her and the health issues, with the high blood pressure and, the cholesterol and all of that. He just went too far. And what happened was he caught Wanda off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, she asked him, she said, "Are you okay? What's up? Why are you coming at me like this?"
Mm-hmm.
And he hurt her feelings. Her feelings were hurt.
I could tell. Because she was laughing, inappropriately. She was just laughing just to laugh. And it was like a nervous kind of laughter. She was just trying to get through the interview.
Yeah, her feelings were hurt. And granted, she is a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
But he caught her off her game that day. And, as women, we're emotional. He was joking. But to her, it was a little bit more than a joke. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that her husband did what he did, and the son showed up at the club, because I follow Wanda on social media, and seems like her family tie is real strong.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, my husband probably would have did the same thing.
And if your family from the hood, again, you ain't got no control over what your family do and
Right.
how they
Right.
approach somebody. And especially,
Exactly.
you know, again, it's just, you know, sometimes it's good to see a black man standing up for a black woman. Sometimes, you know, at the end of the day,
Right.
we never get that. Y'all go in on us. The gay men go in on us. The white men go in on us. The white women go in on us. The black men go in on us. And other black women go in on us. At the end of the day, who stands up for us? And that's all I'm saying.
And exactly. And what happened was Wanda went home crying and emotional to Lamar. And Lamar was like, okay, hold up. We're going to handle this. He got my baby all upset. And we're going down here and we're going to handle this. And then, of course, she has sons, you know, and you know how sons are about their mama. It was like, yeah, I'm going with you. I'm going with you. We're going to take care of this.
Yeah,
you know
the guns went too far, but, you know, Katt Williams is known to be packing too. So
right.
I guess he was just...
Now, why he took the gun out on Katt, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Lamar is a big guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think he had to take the gun out and, you know, let them know, you know, this the way we rolling. What's up? You know, I admit that wasn't a good idea to do that in the club, and there may be some, you know, repercussions behind that. Mm-hmm. But my husband probably would have did the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. And my daughter would have probably been right with my husband.
Okay.
He
your family about that life. Be like, keep that same energy when I see you on the street. Yes.
Right. Because, you know, she went home crying. I guarantee you Wanda went home slinging snot.
And the only reason I would say that she probably felt some kind of way and isolated is because her own co-host didn't come to her aid.
Well, right. Did you see how hard Frank was laughing?
Yes, they're on the same show, and people were like, well, Frank didn't want that smoke. Frank didn't want that. Frank wouldn't have got it. Katt in no way would have ever disrespected Frank on that platform without a mic being cut off. So if she's his co-host, why they didn't stop it? Why they didn't stop it?
Because I don't really think they feel Wanda like that. To be honest with you, I don't really think they like Wanda like that. But true enough, like everyone is saying, though, Wanda has roasted a lot of people on that show. I've heard her. She has really got down in the gutter with some people. And she just got caught off guard. You know, it was just
but like I said yesterday, they call it the People Station. Wanda is representative of, you know, a certain demographic in Atlanta. And, you know, she's there for the people. You know, like at the end of the day, she's not as polished as, you know, a Karen Greer on the news station is.
Right, because
you know,
I don't think she's had any professional training in broadcasting or anything like that. So she's not going to be a good interviewer. You have to be trained for things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she's not a great interviewer. That's true. And I think that was a low punch because the girl was at a job. You know, somebody coming to your job and telling you you're not good at your job. So that was a blow. Right. So it just took her off her whole game. So they both were wrong. But I think that certain things you just don't say, like health-related issues. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
People die from high blood pressure and cholesterol. So I think you went too far with that.
You're right, but we in the minority. We in the minority, child. I'm just going to keep speaking.
Yeah,
but my thing is, y'all can't tell nobody what to be mad at and what to, you know, and at the end of the day, I understand the majority may feel a certain kind of way, but I saw it differently.
Yeah, I agree with you. It went too far, and I'm not surprised that her husband went down there. Not at all. I would have been shocked if he didn't go down there.
Wow.
Be honest with you. All right, thanks.
Well, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. Caller 4565, you're on the line. I know Zill's in there.
Hey, Michelle, this is Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, I'm probably off topic.
Matter
of fact, I know I'm probably off topic. But yesterday when we was on, you know, I was at work or whatever. I'm at work today, but I'm on break. I was at work yesterday, so I missed the beginning of the live. Old boy called in, right, throwing shade, acting like, you know, he didn't know who I was, but you knew I'm from California. And then, you know, he gets a call in and throw shade, and then you just laughing about it, you know, thinking it's funny. So I deaded the situation weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of situations.
We're not
calling in and talking about me.
This is not gonna be the beef show that we are talking about Katt Williams right
Listen,
now.
I'm not trying to go back and forth. I'm just saying this. Now it's on. The beef is on. I will roast his bitch ass every fucking time he call in if you want to take it.
Bye,
Because
Jay.
I'll
Bye,
let
Jay.
it go.
We're not doing this today. Caller 6955, you are on the line. Y'all be going too far with this chat room beef. We are not doing that today. Caller 6955.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey. Who am I speaking with? Hey, Kay. What's going on?
Okay. So I went back and watched the interview again. Well, I watched it about 3 times but anyway. So the whole Tiffany Haddish thing, I felt like Katt was just pointing out the fact that the whole stand-up situation, because a lot of comedics today, they're basically getting put on with acting gigs. It's not really like, you know, the whole stand-up punchlines and stuff like that. I think he was trying to bring that point, like, you know, she's a great actress, but as far as a stand-up comedian, ain't got it. Or we haven't seen it, like her going on tour and everything like that. I think that was the point that he was trying to get at, where people were thinking that he was just saying like, oh, she's just horrible, this, that, and the third, because he did compliment her.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like he's touching more on the stand-up thing.
He said she wasn't a good interviewer. He called her out on a lot of things. He was like, you know, just because you're not he said it. I can't remember the exact words, but he said she wasn't a good interviewer.
No, I'm talking about Tiffany Haddish, not.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm confused.
But the whole gun thing, I think that was, you too old for that. I'm sorry. Like, that man, he didn't threaten. I feel like he didn't threaten Wanda's life. So for her husband to go to the club with a gun, like he about to just do something, like that was out of line. That was out of pocket. I don't care. I don't care where you are. Like, that's out of pocket, because you're threatening somebody else's life. So when Katt comes and there's a lawsuit at your door or something like that, then what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and again, we don't know what happened after the camera stopped rolling. We don't know what words were exchanged, you know, outside of what we saw on on V103's YouTube. And then we don't know. Like, something could have happened. Some words could have been exchanged. She may have felt threatened. I don't know. I'm just allegedly. We don't know. So for him to go that far, and people are saying, you know, he's normally such a calm man, it had to be some things that went on behind the scenes that we don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like that was just too much. That's taking it too far.
Right.
Because then it's gonna hurt her credibility, even if, you know, whatever happened was outside of her job.
It's gonna either hurt her credibility, or it's gonna let these Negroes out here know that this black woman has some real soldiers behind her. That's what it's gonna do.
But what about her call, Frank Ski? I'm so disappointed in Frank Ski. He sat there and just laughed. All the men was in there just laughing and laughing. And she looked really embarrassed. So I'm like, I wonder what Lamorris said to all the men that were in there. They're supposedly supposed to be her coworkers.
Right. I'm sure he must have had a heated conversation with Frank on the phone. So you're like, man, I can only imagine.
And then he just got didn't he just get an Emmy? Like, they barely talked about that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, y'all talking about what he cooked for his kids and stuff.
Right. I don't think either, from what I understood, I don't think anyone was prepared for Katt Williams to be there. I think it was supposed to be an interview with Red, and Katt was in town or there, you know, supporting Red, you know, his show. And so they both came in together. But from the things that I've seen online, even the video that Corey Zumilla did, they weren't, you know, prepared to interview Katt. Like, they didn't even bring it up. Like, you can blame not only Wanda for not asking that question. We can blame Frank for not asking that question, because shouldn't he be prepared? It was his show. So why did Wanda get all the blame for the question that she didn't ask?
True. Yeah,
I'm standing behind Wanda. I'm standing behind that strong black woman. I don't care what y'all say. And I don't even like her like that. At the end of the day, I felt like she was disrespected on her job.
I felt embarrassed for her. I really did. But like sometimes people just take stuff way too far, and I feel like there should have been some accountability with them coworkers, and there should have been an accountability with her husband. Because you can sit there, you can talk to somebody, pull somebody to the side, and talk to somebody a grown man. Like, you're a grown man. You can have a conversation with someone and not have to pull out a gun because she felt embarrassed at her job. I feel like that was completely out of line.
That's true. I agree. I'm not advocating violence at all, but again, it's just refreshing to see a man stand up for his woman. That's all. That's the only part I'm cheerleading, is that he stood up for his wife. That's all. But as far as the gun situation is concerned, there's an issue with that. I don't know where they was gonna take it.
Well, I'm gonna be listening on my way to work in the morning.
I know, right? Oh, I wonder if she's gonna be there. Oh, that's good. Oh, I might have to get up early.
Good airways in the morning.
Somebody text me and let me know what happens. Thank you for calling.
All right, Michelle.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Caller 6656, you on the line.
Hello?
Hello.
Michelle?
Yes. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, Michelle, this is Lamar.
This is who?
This is Lamar from New York.
Hi, Lamont from New York. How are you?
I was waiting on the line for a little while, but it went pretty quick, and I'm just excited to talk to you about this situation.
Uh-oh. You must have some real heat to bring. Oh, wait.
So basically, I heard everybody give their commentary on what they think about the situation, but I'm just going to give it to you like this, and I'm going to give it to you fast.
Okay. I'm ready.
So, my thing is, Katt Williams is a comedian. Basically, she's a comedian, as we hear. That has nothing to do with a man and a woman basically having an argument, in my opinion. If you feel where I'm coming from. When a man and a woman gets into an argument, what happens? A guy steps in, or maybe a woman will step in. Mm-hmm. Of course, the gun thing was taking it too far for the husband to, we don't even know the full story of what happened. And if we don't know that somebody's locked up for the situation, then we really don't know the story. Because had he had a gun in the club, I mean, how does he even get it in there? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Furthermore, we need to wait till the story really comes out for us to make more opinions on the situation. What we can make an opinion on is what we saw on TV, and what on the internet. And what we saw on the internet was him and her having an argument, and him being very nasty to her, and she having her things to say back. Mm-hmm. My take on the argument was that the biggest problem about this situation is that with her, it's like when the women are able to say, hey, I have something on you, and they pull the gay card. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When it comes to black women and black men, that's the easiest way out for a woman to call a guy a faggot or this, or you know what I mean? Like one of those type of things based on being gay. Okay. What he did to her, what he said to her, I already said what she said to him and how she was wrong about that. But what he did to her, he definitely needed a guy to step in to the situation and handle him however he's going to handle him.
So what warranted that? What warranted that?
Sorry?
What specifically warranted, in your opinion?
I mean, I can't, it's mind-blowing. Like, anybody spoke to my mom in that way, and I witnessed it, I don't know what I would do, honestly. And I say that like at the most humblest. Like, I don't know what I would do, and I would probably go crazy. I would probably go crazy. People are saying like a gun is too far. What if it was your mom? What if it was your mom? And what if it was your dad? And if that was your dad, then your dad is a bitch ass nigga for sitting there arguing and going back and forth with a female in the first place.
Ooh, okay.
On top of that,
and I guess that was my only issue. But again, people gonna pull the fact that Wanda's a comedian. She should have been prepared. She should have this. And I'm like, who's got Wanda's back? She was at work. This was an interview. I don't think it should have went that far.
No. Just like the interviews on 105.1, they do come prepared. Mm-hmm. Charlamagne does come prepared, so I get what they're saying. But the things that he was saying to her were intended to come at her personally. It had nothing to do with like public jokes.
Yeah, it was very mean-spirited. That's what I keep saying.
And if people don't understand, this stemmed from before he even came there. It had to.
I think so.
It had to. He was very angry with her. He was even if it didn't, whatever happened there, he was very angry with her to talk to a female like that. I'm telling you now. He was very angry with her, and he said everything that he wanted to say in order to hurt a black woman. That's what he wanted to do.
So in comparison, if it was any other show, we talked about the Breakfast Club. If it had been the Breakfast Club and somebody was on there really disrespecting Angela Yee, do you think Charlamagne or Envy would have stepped in to stop the roast? Like I don't even believe I didn't touch on. There's so much stuff going on with this situation. I don't even believe I didn't touch on the co-host. The co-host, another bitch ass. I can't even believe they sat there and cackled that hard. And that's why I blamed him too, because everybody keeps saying that she wasn't prepared. She didn't ask the right questions. She didn't ask about his Emmy. She didn't ask this, that, and the third. But there was a co-host there. It was actually, Frank is the main host. So why didn't he ask those questions? Why didn't he interject? Why didn't he stop it? Why didn't he cut the mic? I was just wondering.
Michelle, I know your point. I know your point and where you're coming from. And before I even got through, I wasn't agreeing with you. I was like, nah, he went too far. The gun thing, he went too far.
And then after it went viral on social media, that's a whole nother can of worms. It wasn't just a couple of 100,000 people. It was millions of people saw this. Nah. Millions of people got an opinion. Millions of people are now dragging her for the same thing that Katt Williams was dragging her for. Millions of people are like on her Instagram calling her all these names and doing this. Like it's I think it's a different kind of energy.
That's weird. That's weird. I would never understand that part of it. Like, what do they have to do with it? I would never understand the internet. They're weird. But I would think, thank you so much for letting me get through
thank you so much for
give
your
my
input.
opinion on it. And I definitely just want to let you know that you changed my mind by hearing you saying that for once you're just happy that a black woman is being defended. That I walked in my kitchen and I walked back and my mind was changed right then and there because I'm like, wait a minute. Had it been another guy, it wouldn't be a situation. They could take it where they want to take it, back and forth. But this is a female.
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand. She's a female.
They don't hear you. Nobody's going to hear you. It's a black, dark-skinned, fat woman who they claim have bad blood pressure and a wig. Nobody's going to hear you.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't see. That's why I wouldn't even pull the black card. I'm not even trying to pull the black card. That's why. Because that one, we use it a lot. We use it a lot, and they don't let us. So what I would say is it's a female. When a female and a male get into a situation like this, like any situation I've gotten into it with a female, I let it go. I don't argue with her. I don't go back and forth. I let it go. He didn't let it go. He's a bitch-ass nigga. Sorry.
Okay. I'm with you. But thank you so much for your input.
Love you, Michelle. And call me if you want me to come tackle one of these hoes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're gonna be my soldier. I appreciate it. Caller 6367, you on the line.
Hi, Michelle. This is Leo the Lioness Queen.
Yes, Leo the Lioness. You about to drag me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm ready. Let me sit up straight.
Because you already know I'm coming with it.
Go ahead.
But it's out of love. Okay. Listen, Michelle. And I know some people may get mad at me. I really don't care because I think that we are living in a world of where people like to not live in reality when it comes to shit. Yes, there are certain things to where we wish that things can just be black and white or perfect, but people don't deal in reality. This is my whole issue with the whole thing. The whole black woman thing, that shit irritates the fuck out of me. And this is coming from me as a black woman, a proud black woman, okay? Mm-hmm. It's hypocritical and used for a crutch a lot. I am truly aware of the fact that the black woman is the most disrespected woman in the world. I will say that, okay? However, we do a lot of shit that we don't like to take accountability for. Okay. And at the end of the day, the point that you keep bringing up is about how he talks about her weight and whatever, but you totally skipped over the part where she started with him basically questioning his sexuality. Now, when it comes to you, we had a conversation not too long ago how you were going in on Kim Kardashian for doing the same shit to Tyson Beckford. But you went in on her, but because Wanda is a black woman, she don't get to get gone in on. I mean, she brought the shit upon herself by talking about his jail record, talking about his hair. And
so you don't feel like any of what Wanda said was reactionary, and I'm not giving her a pass. I'm not. I do believe a lot of what she said was
may have been reactionary, but at the end of the day, before he started really going in on her, she started first. She the one who threw out an insult first. If you go back and watch the damn interview,
what was the first insult?
Before he started going in on her, she threw out the insult first. Because if you pay attention, the radio interview was about to end. And then when everybody got quiet, that's when she threw out the comment about his hair. And that he needed to go to a salon.
But that was after he had been over-talking her throughout that whole first segment. He had been cutting her off that whole first segment. He had been disrespecting her, acting like she was invisible. Are you kidding me?
Everybody was talking. And at the end of the day, just like one of the callers said previously, I have watched Wanda as well. And Wanda has been extremely disrespectful to her guests. She say off-the-wall shit. Sometimes her jokes don't land correctly. But she say off-the-wall shit all the time. And she finally met her damn match. Okay, and just period. You sat up there and insulted him, his sexuality, threw up the fact that he'd been to jail. Okay. You did all of that. And then you wonder why he went at you. And at the end of the day, when it comes to her interviewing him, okay, that's your job. You should have been fucking prepared. Everybody should know that.
But shouldn't have Frank been prepared? Why is everybody blaming Wanda when she's not the only person on that platform?
Okay, because Wanda is on the show.
But so is Frank. Why he not getting the same blame for not asking the questions? Frank is on there too.
It's called the Frank and Wanda show.
Frank, you're right. Frank and Wanda. Why wasn't Frank?
It don't matter whether his name come first or her name come first. The point
yes, it does.
You're on there.
It matters.
You're on there to interview people. You're on there to interview people. You need to know who you fucking with when they walk in a room. If she was off her game, she should have not thrown the shot. At the end of the day, it just amazes me how people just like to look over shit or just not take accountability for their part in the situation. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that irritates me about us as a culture is because of the fact we like to not pay attention to the shit that we do. Now, when it comes to her husband and stuff, okay, I don't know exactly why he went down there, so I can't exactly say that he's wrong. Because like you say, we don't know exactly what went down after the cameras went off.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what a lot of people also have a bad habit of doing is not being honest about who their family member is. Now, of course, I'm not going to let you do nothing to my family member or my mother, but if my mother is a bitch, I'm going to be understanding about the fact, well, she is a bitch. That's the reason why we're in so much disarray when it comes to the black community, because we don't want to be fucking honest about the shortcomings feelings that each other have. We don't call each other out on shit. And like I said, that passive aggressive bullshit is so over the top and so running so rapid. And then you wonder why people going off and going berserk like they are, because there's too many people walking around doing shit passive aggressively, and you got some people.
You don't think a lot of what Katt was doing was passive aggressive? You don't think that's why her husband and her sons
he was saying exactly what he was going on the same energy that she threw out. And that's another thing I done said 800 times on your channel, Michelle. It's the energy. It's the energy that you present.
Okay.
And then you want, or the same thing like when we accuse some white women of doing. They'll say and flip off at the mouth, say all types of crazy shit, but then when you go off on them, oh, I'm the poor white woman, this big black person going off on me. But you wasn't feeling that way when you were saying all the bullshit that you were saying. It's like, cut the bullshit.
Yes, okay. But they both were wrong. I get it. They both had a part to play. However, Katt knew that she was unmatched. Why we can't put some blame on him? Everybody want to put some blame on Wanda for everything. She didn't ask the right questions. She wasn't prepared. She shouldn't have been in there.
But she threw the first dagger. That's my thing. Don't sit up here and act like a victim when you throw the first dagger and somebody come at you harder than what the hell you expect. And my thing is, how could you not expect that? If you paid attention to Katt and have watched his interviews or just people, period, Katt done been around for a long time. So if I know what I know about him, I know that you know what you know about him because you're in the same comedy field. You should know who is certain people that you should already know to be on your toes with, or to know don't do certain shit because they gonna come at you hard. And like I said, when you do some fucked up shit to somebody, you don't get to dictate to them how hard they come to you.
Okay.
Don't act a victim now when you done threw a dart. If I come at you with a grenade, it is what the fuck it is.
The same
you
thing,
shouldn't get into the fight.
Can I just say this for a second? The same things that you were saying as far as, you can't, dictate how somebody gets mad. That's the same thing you can say about her husband. You can't, you cannot say that he cannot be upset.
But see, Michelle, you're not listening because when I first brought up her, I never said anything concerning her husband. Okay. All I said concerning her husband is that I could not give an opinion on that because I don't know exactly what happened to make him go down there and say what he said. But the only thing I am saying opposing her husband, that if something did not happen off of that, you have to be honest about who the fuck your family member is. I'm not about to sit up there and go to jail over somebody who I know say fucked up shit to people. I'm not about to go to jail over you, and I know you know that you're a bitch.
Okay. Look, we gonna agree to disagree on some things, but I get it. I get it.
Great talking to you, Michelle. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Caller 2336. Woo! Woo!
What's up, Michelle?
Hi. Who am I speaking with?
It's Edison from God Eye Media.
Hi, Edison.
On YouTube.
How are you?
You're glowing, sister. You're looking gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Let me adjust my crown.
All right. I know that's right. You're a queen out here.
Goddess.
Come on now.
I'm a goddess. I'm a black
goddess.
Goddess.
Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. I lead them queens to people like Nicki Minaj and them. I lead them, all of them there. I'm a goddess.
I feel you. You had to be a step above.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, sister. You deserve it.
So what
now,
you about to read me too? I'm ready.
No, I ain't about to read you, sister. I done called you gorgeous, sister. I like you, sister.
Okay.
Now, but I do have to say I feel like you overlooking the Little Mama situation. There's no reason why Little Mama had to be brought up in the situation with the Wanda and the Katt Williams. And I feel like you're sticking up for Wanda, but you're not sticking up for Little Mama. What's good with that?
What do you mean sticking up for Little Mama? What, it was a diss referring to Katt Williams as Little Mama?
Yeah, Wanda's insinuating that Little Mama's a man.
Oh,
that's not nice.
Was that what she was insinuating, or was she insinuating that Katt's a woman? It's like it can't be both.
No, because people been calling Little Mama Bow Wow. Now here come Wanda saying, "Oh, you Little Mama."
You just took it
no,
down. Huh?
she's trying to say Little Mama's a man.
Oh,
that's
wow.
not right.
Okay, that's not right either. But either way, now.
You think that's good?
No, that's not good.
No,
that's not good. Because I just feel like now you're flipping it to eat Wanda and just now Wanda got beef with Little Mama now. Wanda gonna have smoke with everybody by the time this over with.
No, come on now. Seriously though, why Little Mama though? Out of all the people she could have picked.
Watching that interview, I honestly don't think Wanda had any quick, snappy comebacks. Stuff that she was saying was so like basic, elementary, like saying Little Mama was probably on a piece of paper on her desk at the time. Like she was so embarrassed through the situation. I don't take any of her reads seriously. But the thing that she was implying that Katt was gay in all those certain situations, it was wrong. It wasn't right. It wasn't right to, say the things that she said. But all of it was personal. Everything that was going on there was not comedic. It wasn't funny. The interview got out of hand. The interviewees lost control of the interview. Frank Ski, the other co-host, lost control of the interview. The interview was supposed to be about Red and his comedy tour. It was all just a big ball of mess to me. So when I say, when I start talking about the situation of, him using the angry black woman or the strong black woman trope against Wanda, he wasn't using strong black woman. If he said that in a positive way, when he said that, he started talking about Lane Bryant and all those things. Like he was doing everything he could to diminish Wanda as an interviewer. He said that she was I can't help it. You got bad interview skills. He was on her. So it was an awful interview. That's why it's gone viral, because people saw that it was organic and it was real and there was really some tension between the two. That was it. I'm sorry to overtalk you,
sister. I understand what you're saying, but he ain't start going hard on her till she came for his masculinity, told him to go get his hair done, go to the salon, and then you could tell he was caught off guard. That's why he said his hair 19 inches. Clearly that's not 19 inches on his damn head. You know what I'm saying? He was caught off guard, and then he felt like, damn, I need to finish her. I need to finish her before I get off this radio.
Yeah, it was just.
Understand?
It was just all bad. It was all bad, and I feel like because it went viral and because it was all bad, that was why the husband responded the way he did. Was it right? No.
The husband. I don't blame him. He probably, you know what I'm saying, he did what he had to do. Now, was it right? No, it wasn't right. He wrong for it.
He probably had all his friends and his hair at work that day. You don't know what happened after that interview went viral. Everybody talking about it. He feeling some kind of way. People questioning his manhood. How you gonna let that man talk to your wife like that? It was, man.
Well, he need to learn how to control himself. Because here's the thing. His wife is a comedian. And I understand you want to take that factor out, but you can't, because that's her job there. They hired her as a comic, right? The host, like a host/comic. She the comedy relief for the show. So if she can't have a snappy comeback, okay, after how many years of being on the damn radio, and I'm pretty sure they have a history behind the scenes, in the comedy scene, whatever. So, come on now.
It's just a big ball of mess. I get it. It's just a big ball of mess. So
I feel bad for both of them. They both look crazy, if you ask me. You understand? But Wanda, she need to get her feelings in check. Because had that been Monique would have had some comebacks.
Yeah, Monique would have had some comebacks, but I also bet Sydney would have stepped the Katt too.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right.
You know it.
You're right.
You already know it. It would have made videos and been leaking conversations and everything. But anyway.
But then everybody would have been like, See, that's why you need to get rid of your husband. He fucking the shit up for you.
See?
Come on, man.
See?
Come
Black
on.
woman
Her
can't have no
husband is
man.
this one lady.
Can't have no man take up for us. I said we can't have no men take up for us. He's all bad. But anyway, thank you for calling in. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, Michelle.
All right.
You have a good night.
You too. Bye bye. Caller 1278. Oh, y'all is heated about this topic. I didn't know it was gonna go this long. Caller 1278.
Hey, Miss Brown.
Hello.
All right.
I am
now,
ready to be read. I'm listening.
Well, that's not where I'm coming from. I just want to enlighten.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's keep in mind that Katt was invited. All right?
Yes.
And when you're invited somewhere, it's under the assumption of hospitality will be there. You know, he's not just a comedian. He's someone that announced his accomplishments as a businessman. You know, he owns his intellectual property. Mm-hmm. So when you know, and the two men that were on the panel as well, they didn't respond. You know, they allowed that woman Wanda to get ethered because it was just they were just caught up in like, I can't believe this is happening. They didn't take it as, no, I can't let you disrespect Wanda. It wasn't about that. It was where we have an accomplished personality in our studio, and Wanda, who has a tradition of being controversial and setting it off, she initiates setting things off. Mm-hmm. And when he was responding to it with his full force of defensiveness, because he was there thinking that, okay, I'm going to be treated hospitably. Right. And when that wasn't happening, he unleashed the full force talent of his gift. And that's what he did. He was like, oh, okay, this is some bullshit. You know, I'm you know, and I admit that he overreacted because he punked her down. Mm-hmm. He was like, what you're not going to do is come for me. Mm-hmm. And he punked her down. But if you look at the initial interview, he was just announcing what the game is in the industry and how he feels that some women are chosen, some women aren't, so on, you know, with the Tiffany thing. And he was just announcing the game, like what it's all about.
So,
and
how do you feel like he specifically disrespected her to the point where her husband had to step to him?
Well,
in your opinion,
a lot of black women don't know when to shut up, you know, and I'm just keeping it real. Her mission was to be exuberant and cause controversy, but she picked the wrong one because she was pointing on things that didn't make sense to his narrative, and he wanted to set her straight. And her husband received the backlash of her emotions, like, I can't believe he did this to me, and whatever conversation they had that night, to the point where her husband felt compelled to respond. Unfortunately, obviously, he's not a wise man because he doesn't understand the legal ramifications of what he did.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, she got a crew on her side. You know, she got a crew on her side, and that. You know, she probably exposed how vulnerable and intimidated she felt, and her family is overreacting. And you know, because like take the Grande situation at Aretha Franklin's funeral. You didn't hear that woman, like make it like, yeah, you know, he did this, he did that. She chilled. And So what I'm saying with Wanda is her husband was smart. He would have said, baby, you know I'm on your side. We got you. We'll go to war for you. But let's give it a couple of days. Black, we, in this world we love controversy. So let's spend a couple of days.
The opportunity presented is like they didn't have a couple of days. How would they know the next time they was gonna see Katt Williams? They knew he was gonna be at the comedy club on Saturday night.
That's what I'm saying. That was impulsive. That was emotional. I don't respect her husband for doing that. I respect black men defending black women, but you gotta have strategy. You see, and the way he did it was he put his family in harm's way. Let's say, God forbid, the man gets prosecuted for that action, then, what is his family to be?
You're right.
So you got to think about what you're doing before you do it. And Katt Williams, he knew what he was doing because he's a businessman. He's not just a comedian. He's a disturbed genius, and she didn't know who she was fooling with.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, he's a disturbed genius. She didn't know who she was fooling with. That's what it is. Because, those two men on the panel, they knew not to mess with him. They knew not to counteract his, like when Katt Williams was criticizing the man with the glasses on about whatever was going on with his daughter, his family, or whatever. He knew he was dealing with a genius. And he was like, I'm going to just laugh and keep it moving. But Wanda, she didn't understand that. And she had just got caught up in defending herself, and she didn't know what she was doing.
You're right.
She didn't know what she was doing. And it was insulting. I mean, that's how far the man can go. He can dig so deep.
Clearly, he dug deep, and he struck a nerve.
Man, when you're dealing with a genius, you won't be able to sleep at night after they read you.
Wow.
It's just it's crazy. So she just didn't. All she had to, in my humble opinion, all she had to do was just stick with his lead.
Right.
His lead was exposing the game and how some people are favored, some people aren't, and this is who I introduced, and this is what I've done, and just make it about him because he was invited, and so he was invited to an arena of hospitality. Hospitality under false pretenses. Right. It's like, we're going to give you the impression that we're going to be hospitable to you. And then they attack him, and he was like, oh, no, not today. And he unleashed his genius. And she got caught up, and she booed and cried to her people. And her people was like, well, I guess we got to pack up and make something happen. Because that's what clans do. That's what family clans do. It's like whether you right or wrong, I'm gonna go hard for you.
Right.
And that's what so I don't blame her family, her husband, for the attempt to defend her. Mm-hmm. However, the method that he chose was ignorant because there's a system of law that we have.
Right.
And he could have chosen a better way. So I'm not here to roast you, woman.
No. I appreciate you. I'm ready. I was just joking about the roasting. I just know, a lot of y'all feel passionately about this, situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff he said was totally cold-blooded because he, and that shows his level of manhood, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to ether Katt. I'm not trying, but I will say this. In order for him to be touched that deep to where he had to pull out the bottom of the barrel type of insults based on her image, that, you know, based on her weight, the assumption, you know, he just pulled out what, you know, people laugh at stereotypically about Black women that have her particular image. He pulled that out of desperation because he felt that he was invited under false pretenses. I thought y'all was inviting me to, you know, for me to impart some insight about the industry and my opinions about the industry, and now y'all getting personal.
Right. I mean, he talked about the industry, but that's a whole nother story.
And that's how it went.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not even team one or the other. I'm not saying they both was wrong. I'm saying she got played, she couldn't handle it, and her family, which is, you know, her gun crew stepped in, but they didn't think about it.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much for your input.
He was invited under false pretenses. You know, or maybe the men, those two men, maybe they knew what it was. It's like, look, we inviting you here to speak your mind, but she wanted to get some glory. And we as Black women, that's what we, you know, she wanted to get some glory. It's like, let me go ahead and make this man feel less than since he's trying to step on Tiffany's toes. And that's what I think. I think that's what set her off. It's like, oh, you trying to degrade a Black woman, and that's coming up, and she just, you know.
Yes, they were both. She was unmatched. I mean, you know, she was out of her league for even trying. But I don't think it was her intention to emasculate him. Well, it was when she called him little mama, but at that point, I feel like her toes had already been touched. You know, like, again, if you watch it from the beginning and you see he's talking over her, but I'm not going to even go there. I'm not going to rehash the whole interview, but I appreciate you calling in. I got to get some of these calls off the line, honey, because this is getting long.
Yeah, you popular, baby. You popular. All right, good night.
All right, bye-bye. Whoa, y'all. 8564.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi. Who am I speaking to?
This is Monique.
Hey, Monique.
All right, now, Michelle, you know you and I usually agree on everything.
I have the unpopular
But this
opinions.
is one, I just don't have your back on this one, sister.
Okay.
I just can't have your back on this one. Let me start with this. As a people, from childhood, we played the dozen. Like, that's what we did. And that's kind of what happened with that. Now, you're saying that he wasn't even supposed to be there to be interviewed. Well, if that be the case, why did she have to go to him and ask him about what he cooked for his children? That was irrelevant. Like, what was the purpose of her even going to him with those questions for if Red was the person that was supposed to be interviewed?
Because he was there. I don't think either one of them were prepared to ask questions.
That's fine. That's fine. But the thing is, Michelle, he was there, but you had a whole bunch of other things that you could have talked about with him, like everybody's saying, Emmy, Netflix deal, what you cook for your children. Come on, really?
Right.
Like, really? That didn't even make no sense. That made no sense at all. Second of all, it actually started with Red when he said his daughter said she pissed off, and he was like, "Oh my God, you feel like that's a curse word?"
Yeah.
She just got that from her teacher and that private school that she go to. That man didn't get upset. He wasn't like, "Oh, you trying to talk about, you know, me and how I raised my children." It was all a joke. Everybody was laughing. It was funny. So then he started talking about his comedy specials and the fact that nobody never financed him and he did it on his own and this and that. Where I was lost at is what she had to even bring up Tiffany Haddish for. So if Red was there and the interview was supposed to be for Red and Katt Williams was the guest of Red,
but didn't he bring up? I don't remember the specific timeline of events, but didn't he bring up Netflix when he started talking about Monique, or did she bring up Tiffany Haddish first?
He didn't bring up. He said he financed all his own comedy specials. He made $24 million off of one strictly in Atlanta, and now he have a Netflix deal, and stuff like that. My thing is, I feel like she kind of threw some shade when she threw Tiffany Haddish's name in the box, because it's like almost like, well, you're saying that you financed your own stuff and this and that, but Tiffany Haddish has all these movies and you still haven't reached her level. That could have been some shade that she was throwing. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And when you say disrespecting a black woman, I kind of take issue with that. I feel like you've been disrespected with the whole, and this is not to bring up the past with the T.S. Madison thing, but when somebody was going under your dress and talking about what you smell like, that's disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But saying what somebody is wearing on their lips, that's not disrespectful. Like I said, we grew up playing the dozens. Okay. That's the first thing you do. Girl, look at them shoes you got on. Y'all can't even, that's what you do. She really went gutter when she called out his masculinity and tried to say about him being gay. Everything he said about her was surface. Everything he said about her was actually cosmetic, like surface, her lipstick, her jewelry. And yes, she was sitting up there with that big old rhinestone necklace, that you can't get from the Chinese store, where they sell the weave and all that for $10. Okay. So what he said, it was not disrespectful. It's disrespectful to me when you start going under people's clothes. Okay. It's disrespectful when you start talking about, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's disrespectful when you start questioning someone's sexuality.
Exactly. That's disrespectful. All the rest of it was jokes. And he is a comedian. And she is too. The issue is when you saw that you was outmatched, you just should have fell back. Because, after he hit you with the first thing, off the lipstick, when you saw that you was outmatched, you kind of could have fell back and the conversation would have directed to something else. But that's what she didn't do. She kept going on and on and on and on. She don't have the talent to match him. That's just like they got a lot of people that can't roll with Kaya.
But she wasn't there by herself.
I understand that she wasn't there by herself, but she was the one that was in the roasting situation.
And that's my point. It didn't have to be a roasting situation. It didn't have to be.
But she didn't know how to. She didn't stop, Michelle. Let me say this: okay. If I'm with you, just say I'm with somebody like Kaya, and I know Kaya is a master roaster, okay? And we sitting at home, even in a personal situation, ain't no cameras on us, ain't nothing going on. I think we have all been there where we got some friends that's real quick at the mouth. Real quick at the mouth.
I'm talking about this black man and this black woman. It's so many other dynamics going on in this situation. I don't agree. Like I just don't. Like I don't feel like using Kaya as an analogy is.
No, what I'm saying about the whole Kaya thing, you're not letting me finish. So
okay,
what I'm saying is, even with friends, when you know you outmatched. Like if you start and you doing this like kind of playing the dozen thing back and forth, when you figure you outmatched, then you just kind of need to fall back and let it go. But that's the thing, she did not let it go. I mean, and everybody is so on, you can't joke with nobody today, can't nobody make a joke today. Everybody getting their feelings. Look, I looked at the Aretha Franklin funeral. And after when them people was up in there, they hit 5 hours, I was like, these people are going into glycemic shock because they had nothing to eat. Is that something like, oh, she's talking about people blood pressure and everybody fat? I mean, it's funny. Can't nobody laugh no more about nothing. Can't nobody joke about nothing. Everybody.
No, I didn't know it was. It could have been funny, But it was mean-spirited. That's all I'm saying.
It
There's
was
a difference.
Mean-spirited.
There's some
mean-spirited when she kept on trying to go back at him, Michelle.
Okay.
If you see that you're unmatched,
they both had a role to play in the situation. They both had a role to play in the situation. But where we are today, is that her husband tried to confront him at the club.
And I think that the husband was not necessarily upset, possibly about what happened on the show. Like you said, after the show, they had all of these people attacking his wife on social media. So that could be possibly why he got so upset, because now, everybody's talking about his wife on social media. If that wouldn't have happened, it could have all possibly been over. She tried to get him. He got the best of her. Again, he did not disrespect her because he never talked under her clothes. He didn't talk about her parenting. He didn't talk about her mother. He didn't talk about, it was everything he said about her was surface. She went low when she talked about, questioning him being gay. So she went low. I think her husband probably got really upset because of all the people on social media. Like you said, the 100,000 of posts that was talking about her, and now everybody's joking and she looks like a fool, and that could be what rolls something in on him. Not the initial interview. It's all the aftermath of it that could have possibly brought him to where he went. And that's just my opinion on it. But people need to stop getting their feelings, and everything cannot be called disrespect. If somebody surfaces with you and they just talking about what your lipstick look like and what your wig look like, and that's surface. When you start talking about people,
was it surface when he went in calling her an angry black woman or a strong black woman sarcastically? Was that surface?
When he called her a strong black woman sarcastically, his thing is, and what he was trying to say is, oh, so you're strong, like you're bucking up at me right now, and he had to shut her down because you her strong. When he said that, it wasn't her strong, like she's a strong black woman on that level, Michelle.
So she had just been meek and mild and not asked any questions. She should have just stayed in her place in the room amongst those men.
No. See, because you want to still stick with that black woman narrative. No, I felt like when he said that, it was coming more from, it's like, oh, so you want to do this kind of jokey thing, and you want to be strong, so now I'm about to sit you down. Because I'm better than you when it comes to that. But he would have never.
I just don't feel like he would have had that same energy with Frank. I don't. And from watching it, like.
And then maybe he wouldn't have had that same energy with Frank, but Frank probably wasn't gonna do what she did. See, she was trying to put her comedian hat on, and her comedian hat ain't as tough as his.
Okay.
So Frank know he ain't no comedian.
Okay.
Frank know he ain't no comedian, so Frank wasn't gonna come back and wasn't gonna do all the stuff that she was doing.
Okay.
Frank wasn't gonna do all of that.
But he
know he ain't no comedian.
Okay, but why do you feel like he let the interview continue?
Didn't even come back at him.
Why do you feel like
Red didn't even go back and forth?
Red wasn't. Red was there together. They were there together. Red was his friend. They were
there together because they're friends and they do shows together. I know that. But what I'm saying is, when they were talking about Red's child and the whole pissed off thing, and he was making a joke, Red wasn't even coming back at him strong like that, because he probably know I'm a comedian too, but I probably can't. I mean, if we start doing this dozen thing and going back and forth, I ain't gonna be able to stand up to Katt. Katt gonna chop my head off, because that's what Katt do.
Right.
So Red didn't even go back and forth when it started, and it started with Red. It started with Red talking about his baby with the pissed off thing. So it's like Red as a man, that was another man. So if you want to talk about how he bumped up to the woman, Red was another man, and he was joking with Red. But the thing is, at a point, Red knew how to back up off that, because Red know that I'm a comedian, and yeah, I might be funny, but if I start going over and over with Katt gonna get me, because Katt is a master roaster. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Okay. I get it.
So You know, that's all I'm saying. I mean, everything can't be about disrespect to a black woman. You know, I get you.
No,
when you
no,
say
everything
that,
can't be. Everything can't be. I just didn't like the way the interview was handled from beginning to end. From Frank's situation, like again, Wanda wasn't the only person there. It was Wanda and Frank. So why didn't Frank bear any responsibility to this situation? Everybody keeps saying,
but why did Frank? But this is the thing. Wanda kept on talking, Michelle. So if Wanda, once she saw that she was not as funny as Katt, and once she saw that these little stupid jokes, like Wanda was making jokes like, you so fat if you tried to hula hoop, it'll get stuck around your waist. That's the kind of shit Wanda was talking about. Like that, nothing she said landed or hit, because wasn't none of it funny, actually. So the bottom line is, when you saw that you was not funny, and when you saw that what you was trying to do with your jokes was not landing, again, if she would have just backed up off that situation and left it alone, the whole, I feel like the whole interview would have took a different turn. And the man, whatever his name is, he could have started talking. But why I'm going to jump into something when you basically going at this man with these jokes that you trying to throw at him? He ain't never called you out your name. Now, I feel like if the Katt would have started calling her a bitch and a hoe and a low down this, now that's when Frank should have stood up for her.
Okay.
But the Katt never went at her on that level. He talked about her lipstick and her jewelry.
Right.
He talked about her lipstick and her jewelry. He never called her out her name. He never went low. It wasn't a low blow on her. She's the one that actually went to the low blows. Because you should know, you done been in prison, and he had to tell her, no, sweetheart, I've never stayed a night in prison. There's a difference between prison and jail. So that's what I'm saying. Everything she tried, it didn't work for her.
Okay.
It wasn't working. You should have backed up off of it a long time ago.
I get it. And we're not going to rehash the entire interview. And I'm sorry to cut you short, Monique. You know, I'll let you talk all night long.
It's good.
But I'm going to take one more call. I was like, dang, we've been on this for 2 hours, child. I got to get off the phone. I'll take.
All right.
But I appreciate you, Monique.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. One more call. I know it's a bunch of you waiting on the line, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But we would talk about this all night, child. Caller 8883, you're on the line.
Michelle, what's going on?
Hi, who am I speaking with?
Eric from Florida.
Hey, Eric from Florida.
Yeah, I have to agree with the caller before me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're wrong in your opinion about the situation. Let's take it at face value for what it is.
Okay.
Not an attack on black women.
It's just
it's not a gender issue. It's a comedian. It's a roast of the comedians. And Katt won.
Okay.
He didn't disrespect her. He did go in on her. You know, she tried to emasculate him by calling him little mama, which is not fair. So black women have a lot of problems with that. They get mad at a man. Boyfriend, baby daddy, oh, your punk ass, oh, you gay. You know, you always saying that, hey, we're going to protect the black women. But, hey, the black women, give us a reason to protect her, you know?
So do you feel like her husband was out of line for confronting Katt with a gun? How do you feel about that?
I think that probably when they got home, pillow talk, she probably expressed her feelings about what happened. I'm pretty sure she was upset. He probably became upset because his wife was upset. But if you look at that video, he wasn't disrespectful to her. He didn't curse her. He didn't call her out because of bitches. He didn't try to masculinize her, you know, by saying, oh, you a man, you acting all tough like a man. He didn't do that. He talked about her cooking. He made some obvious, like the lady said, some facial, you know, some superficial issues about her weight, her cholesterol. He took advantage of that, her lipstick, you know. He compared their hair.
And so you don't feel like any of those other men in the room, and I understand she wasn't equally matched. I understand that she said some things that were problematic. He said some things were problematic. They were on an interview. You don't think anybody in that room should have said something, should have interjected, should have done something, should have, you know, everybody's getting on her case for not asking about the Emmy. Anybody else in that room could have too. You don't feel like there was an issue there?
No, I think they was kind of unsure. If you look at that video, I think that maybe they was just seeing them going back and forth. That they didn't think at the time that it was serious. You know, they laugh and they thinking that, hey, these two comedians, they're roasting each other. You know that you go on YouTube, you see comedians get in a room and they go to roasting each other. They probably felt the same way. You know, like I said, he wasn't disrespectful.
Okay.
You know, so they probably didn't feel like they needed to jump in and say, hey, you know, this is going too far. He was just getting the best of her.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in the video, he clearly won that roast.
Okay.
You know, some people get attacked. Like the lady said, you know, we black. We grew up from kids roasting each other, you know, your brothers and sisters, your cousins. That's what we do. And that's probably seen as another roast fest. But Katt Williams clearly came out on top of the situation.
He came out on top, but now somebody going after him with a gun.
See, but that's the thing. You know me, I'm pretty level-headed. Some people say some things to me that may upset me, but I'm not. I look at the situation like, hey, is this worth my loved one or my spouse
but
getting
some
killed?
Men don't like when other men talk to their woman a certain kind of way. So
yeah, I mean, it's all in the interpretation of the person who experiencing it. I wouldn't want nobody to talk to my spouse in that way, you know. But I know they comedians. That's part of the job, you know. Like I said, he ain't calling all kinds. He ain't say no calling no bitches, no hoes. He ain't call her fat. And then you said something about his comment calling her a strong black woman. He never went in depth of what he meant about that. So you can only take your interpretation of what he meant by that, whether you thinking that, oh, it was a connotation for him to down her, which he probably did because he was roasting her. But to make an assumption for that's worthy of him getting pulled out a gun on and shot and killed.
No,
I call you, Michelle, a black woman.
Nothing is worthy of
trying to kill me.
No.
You know, so yeah. But making this an issue that, this a gender issue, black man always attacking a woman, the gays, this is that and the third, but black women got a habit of doing that too, that you don't like something a black man do, he's gay, he's a faggot. You know, we got to stop doing that, you know?
We do.
People can have a disagreement and you could be mad as hell and you walk away with people staying strong in their opinions about something, you know?
Well, who's gonna have a black woman's back in the situation? Nobody.
A
Who's
black
gonna
man
have woman's back in the situation? Nobody. That's why her husband took it upon himself to have her back. That's how I saw it.
But as a man, that's the difference between a man and a boy. As a man, he could have stepped in and said, "Hey, man." As another man,
we don't know if he did or didn't do that. We just know a gun was drawn. We don't know what happened before the gun came out.
I mean, but why bring a gun if that's not your intention?
Because Katt has been known to wave guns in the parking lot of Walmart. Katt has been known to be strapped all the time. Katt has been known to shoot, you know, like Katt fight 14-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not bring a... We don't know what dude's going to come with. So, I mean, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying, you know, clearly her soldiers had her back and they were prepared.
I understand, but it's just not your narrative. That seemed to be the narrative on YouTube about, this man going on this woman, this black man going on this black woman, and black man, this black man, that. Stop taking for face value. This was a roast. It was a roast between comedians. He bested her. Let's just leave it like that.
But clearly that's not where it was left. If there was, the feelings were so involved that somebody came and brought a gun, it wasn't just jokes. It wasn't. Clearly it wasn't. We see it wasn't.
He roasted her pretty good.
He did.
He did, but she took shots at him. I mean, you can clearly in the interview, you can see that the type of questioning that she was giving him, he didn't like it.
Okay.
It was totally different from what Frank was asking him, and his frustration, he went to roasting. You know, to now know, like, okay, you asked me these inappropriate questions, I'm going to give you an asshole answer, you know?
But if it had been on any other platform, if he was on Good Morning America with somebody else saying, I don't think it would have went as far as it went. That is, I'm just saying from the outside looking in, that's what I saw. If I'm in the minority, so be it, but my opinion is not changing.
Yeah, but I think it's a combination of her inappropriate questioning and his frustration. He go to roasting. He roasting her pretty bad, and she go to emasculating him by calling him little mama, which would totally turn the interview left. So, okay, you want to go there? I'm clearly a man. I'm a straight man. Now I'm now about to go in on you. That's how I
think
see
the interview
it.
was turned left way before the little mama comment. But anyway, it's clear the interview is a hot spot to a lot of people. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens in the morning.
I mean, if we're gonna do better as Black people, we're not gonna keep promoting this narrative that a Black woman is always on the attack when it's something they don't like.
Okay.
It's not like that.
But it's not like that. But y'all should also listen to Black women when we say we're offended and not minimalize the situation as if it's nothing offensive. You understand what I'm saying? Like I just see a lot of times it's happened a lot. But I mean, I get
How
it.
about this?
If y'all,
How about this to any Black women that's listening right now? If you got an issue in life with a Black man and your frustration, don't call no Black man no woman and think you're gonna be respected.
Oh, I get that. I know. No one's saying that's a true comeback. No, we're not saying that. Definitely.
Yeah, but we need to stop promoting that narrative that, Black women are always under attack. People can disagree and be mad and then leave it at that. If it can't be resolved, you don't have to end an argument by demasculating a Black man.
Right.
And you won't
and
support
Black men don't need to
tough.
resolve an argument by showing up at the club with a gun.
So. Exactly. You can handle it differently.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
It was nice talking to you, Michelle.
All right. Bye-bye. Whew, y'all got me together tonight. I apologize to the 12 callers that's on the line. I can't do it no more. I've been on for 2 hours. 2 hours is all I got in me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your input. I appreciate those of you who got me together. But I still feel the way I feel. If y'all say I feel the way I feel because I'm a Black woman, okay, that it is what it is. And those of you who don't see it the way I see it, that is fine too. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already liked this video, subscribe to my channel, visit my t-shirt store, all of the above. I will see you on the blog, straightfromtheA.com. Bye. Thanks, Zills.